like suicidal. I didn't want to be. I was in a toxic relationship. You know, everything was going wrong for me. I got asked to leave the army. That's all I had was the army. It was a rough place to be. Did I put a banana in there? I did, didn't I? Yeah. Check out, Vin. You did. Nightmare making that. This is Dean's recipe that he gave me when I very first started fighting. It just keeps me going.
The power pancakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good to get you through them.
We just change the amount of carbs as it gets closer to the fight. Normally 50 grams of oats. We change it down to 30 or 25 if I need to.
As the fight gets closer, do you get nervous?
Me, yeah. I don't really get nervous until like literally just before the fight. But it's a horrible feeling. It's like that. It's like a sickening feeling in your gut because it's never nice watching someone you love getting hit. One of Terry's main habits is it drives me mad, but it's good for him. He watches his fights hundreds of times, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Goes over and over and over.
If I learn something new,
yeah.
who does it drive mad? It don't drive me mad.
Drive me mad.
You know, I learn from it like that. I don't like watching my opponent's fights. I just don't do it. I let my coaches do that. Yeah, no, so it's nice for them to be proud of me, do you know what I mean? Because on leaving the army, everyone's proud of you when you're in the army. And then on leaving, it's sort of a bit like, oh, you know, it's really weird, you feel like you've lost something. Growing up was a bit tough, a bit rough, going to fall into bits of trouble, wrong crowd and all that, you know, the old story. But as I got older, the trouble grew. And then one day it came to the point of getting arrested and sent to court. Promised my mum that I'd change my life if I got away with it. Walked out of court that day and went and joined the army the next day. It was one of the things where I surrounded myself with the types of people that were in trouble, so I just always got dragged into that. A lot of trouble got sort of put on me that weren't always me. My dad was an alcoholic, so at the stage it was really bad for him and my mum is when I was sort of early teens, and I sort of got the brunt of that, like physically and mentally, I guess. Like I said, my mum died before that Alex the Whore fight, like 7-8 months ago. She was 58. Like, you know, if you're looking at it like that, I'm 32, so it's not far off. Do you know what I mean? When you do the math, you know, she had cancer from 53. So life is so short. None of us make it out alive. I joined the Irish Guards first of all because they were the most local regiment, to be honest, yeah, just at Victoria Barracks in Windsor, and then that was great, but I just felt like I wanted more, so I done P Company, joined the Paras, more physical, more boisterous, bit more aggressive, you know, a bit more me. Afghanistan, 2010, 2011, we went there. That was a turning point in my life, I guess. We had a particularly hard time battling most days, if not every day. We was contacted and fighting, losing guys, you know, dealing with also the you know, the local population, children getting blown up by the IEDs left for us and stuff. So, you know, some horrific stuff, some life-changing stuff happened out there. When you're in the army, it's like there's nothing else out there. Nothing else matters. You literally don't think about civilian life at all. It's really, really weird. I think that's why a lot of people end up... I know people that have tried getting out, have got out and then gone back because they don't know anything else. They know that life. They know when they're eating, when their meals are provided every day, they need that routine and like that structure. And that's what I found with MMA. Do you know what I mean? I get that structure, I get that routine. I know when I'm eating, what I'm doing, where I'm training. That's the drill square through there. Horrible place where many men are broke. James. Are you alright? Good, man. How did you just go?
What's going on? You good?
See you, man. You alright?
Yeah, I'm good. Hey, what's going on?
So MMA is my biggest coping mechanism. I was a good soldier before. I'd always listen, always do as I was told. You know, I'd always be the guy to rely on. I think when we come back, things just changed, and the hierarchy noticed that. At that time, I started getting nightmares and anxiety attacks and being really depressed and stuff, not wanting to put my uniform on. I got sent to the medical centre and got medically discharged with PTSD. I guess they train you as much as you can be trained without being in a war zone, but being shot at is being shot at, and there's nothing that's going to train you for that. You know, being blown up and people being blown up around you, and IEDs being found that you walked over and things like this is, you know, it's not normal, and nothing can prepare you for that. Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. And that's how I walked into the gym. That's how I met Dean Amazinger.
Let's go. Good pace. Push. Flat out, let's go. Let's get it up.
Before I'd met Amy, I'd walked into the gym and started training MMA, just looking for a fight, to be honest, just let some steam off. I'd signed up to an inter-club fight, which is just like you're fighting someone within the gym, but friends and family are allowed to come and watch. It's just to see who's good in that environment of a bit of pressure. And I've been doing it like 5 days, I learnt nothing. And I just got in there and just toe-to-toe with this guy. He's like a really good striker. Just basically just put it on him.
You had 2 fights, and so on the one of them he absolutely, you know, smashed the guy. And the other one, the guy was far more technical than him because he had more experience. And it's also how you react to that, getting beaten up. He didn't want to quit. He wasn't, even though he was getting beaten. You can't coach that. You know, there's always performance anxiety in there. You know, because he wants to win and he wants to do well for his family, he wants to do well for the coaches and obviously for himself. So there's always going to be those feelings of nerves, but he's never nerves about getting hurt. That's out, do you know what I mean? He's never worried about that. But because of having to deal with some really, you know, life-threatening situations and the ability to keep yourself calm, so he has those feelings, but I feel like he manages them very well.
The physical pain side of it, or getting hit, doesn't bother me. How long is it going to last? You know, it's like a tattoo, right? Just get it out of the way, it's not going to hurt tomorrow.
How many tattoos have you got, sorry?
Oh, I don't know, to be honest.
Do you get them done while you're in the army, or after?
I've had most of them ones lasered off, to be honest, because they're the sort of tattoos you don't want to go through life with. A bit of an image that I wouldn't want to carry through life when I was younger, like thinking it was good, thinking it was cool, trying to be a big man. You know, I just want people to be proud of me, and you know, because that's what I had in the army. You know, people, you walk through town in your uniform, and you see people just, like, you know, get that smile and like, you know, you're doing something good, and I get that from MMA as well. Now people are starting to recognise me, especially like locally. You know, I'm doing this. I train so hard for my kids and for my kids' future, so they haven't got to go through the bullshit I went through, and so they get the nice things that I didn't have. Do you know what I mean? Like a Greek god film. Do you know what I mean? Like I want my name to live on. Do you know what I mean? I want that. You know, I want to be a name. I want people to remember me or go, oh, do you remember that fight? Like a Fedor or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, that's good. You know, he's gone out on a loss. He lost the other day, but he's still, you know, still got his name, and he's still like, yeah, he's a G. Very good.
And then about a year later, people are like, oh yeah, that thing was really good. It's like, yeah, Terry, that's what I told you to do.